In this week's episode of Custom Cards that we look at for absolutely no reason, we are going to see monkeys, rages, legendaries, and so much more. I ask you guys to submit custom cards, memes, creations, anything that came to mind, so I can throw those things in, look at them, read them out loud, and spend the next 10 minutes or so thinking about how those cards could be used in this game. My name is Solem, which is why my channel name is Solem, and you're watching Custom Cards episode 7? I think it's 7. Honestly, I thought I stopped after episode 1, and here we are. And you know the story of how God gave the humans life, or whatever this picture references? Well, monkey. That's the answer. The Patriarchy, 3-mana spell for Priest. Epic spell. Summon a 1/4 Silverback Patriarch with Taunt, give it +2 attack. For the low cost of just 3 mana, you get the best 3-drop in this game and give it +2 attack. And because it is a spell, it means you can reduce the cost quite easily, with cards like Radiant Elemental for example. All in all, you take the Silverback Patriarch and make it the other monkey that we had like almost 6 years ago. Time flies. So in short, good spell. Next we got the Rager though. Volcanic Rager. Overkill summon a Magma Rager. It already has Magma Rager stats for just 2 mana, and if you overkill a minion, which is quite easy on like turn 1 or 2, you summon a Magma Rager. This, unironically, is a pretty artwork, but also a decent card. Now in most cases your opponent would just use their hero power to remove that, but they have to spend 2 mana on that. Think about it. This card and Broomstick. This one has Rush, instantly overkilled something. And on turn 3 you not just dealt 5 damage, but you also summon a Magma Rager. Which then means if you play 2 more Magma Ragers from your hand and you have all 3 Magma Ragers, maybe you fusion summon the ultimate Magma Rager dragon. Could happen, probably won't. We will see what the future has for us, like future discovering. Side quest, 1-mana rogue spell. Discover 3 cards, reward, discover 3 cards. So the side quest itself is also your reward. After you discover 3 cards, so you play something like Burgle Rogue, or you play some terrible meme deck, you get to discover 3 additional cards. So for the cost of 1 mana, you can draw 3 cards. That is like Solarium, but you don't discard anything. Needless to say, would be incredibly broken when you play Academic Espionage Rogue in Wild, which is such a good deck. I honestly think we should get more support from meme decks like that. And having a side quest that helps you to discover something, I like the idea of that. Good job, good creation. Now when I mentioned in the beginning of this video that we have more than 1 monkey, I meant we get a Silverback Matriarch. 3-mana 1/4 Beast for Hunter. Whenever you cast a banana, summon a Silverback Patriarch. Banana Synergy. There are multiple cards that give you bananas. There's Mukla, Tyrant of the Veil, there's Banana Buffoon, Banana Man 2.0, and even more bananas. Maybe you play Mukla, your opponent gets 2 bananas, but you also play Lawwalker Cho, so when they cast their bananas and have only one effect of giving a minion +1/+1, you out of nowhere summon a Silverback Patriarch the turn after, when you cast your own banana. Life could be amazing if we had that card. I actually think if we just had synergy for certain spells that are common across multiple expansions, like in this case bananas, we could play some really fun meme decks. I like the idea honestly. Good monkey. I got a question to some of you, which I'm going to ask right now and you can't stop me. Anybody watched 101 Dogs? I don't know the English name. There was this one enemy character, villain, called something Deville. Is this next card, Eliza Deville, a reference to that character? Yes or no? Now you might say, Solem, how should I know? Well, I don't know either. We're stuck in this situation and I don't know a way out. So let's just read it. 2-mana 1/1, Battlecry, draw a card. So far, it's a legendary version of Novice Engineer. But then, Death Rattle, both players draw a card. So it's like using that 2-mana spell for Mage and putting it onto the card as a Death Rattle. I think in any deck where you want to draw cards in, which I think is any deck ever, this card would make sense and I think everybody would play that. Because it's like 2 cards in 1, right? You don't necessarily care about your opponent getting a card because it's about you winning the game and you want to draw cards. And that does it for you. Call me crazy or Jason, whatever you prefer, but I think this card is great. Also, I really like the artwork. Reminds me of the Mad Queen from Alice in Wonderland, the one with the big hat. If you played Battlegrounds, you like this one character called Raka Nishu. 4-mana 3/4 Elemental. Your opponent burns cards instead of drawing them. I always like the idea of interacting with the opponent's draw, and one of my favorite cards of all time is Nomferatu. Now to be fair, we have a broken version of Nomferatu called Ticketus, which everybody hates, but Raka Nishu only means if your opponent draws a card, they burn it. So if you play it on turn 4, they burn a single card, unless this minion survives. And if you play like Double Code Light Oracle on turn 10 with Raka Nishu, your opponent would burn 4 cards, plus the initial draw next turn, so it's 5, which is like a very complicated version of Ticketus. I honestly really like the idea of this. It might be annoying because you don't interact with the enemy at all, you just play the card and they burn something, But I always like the idea of that. And you know, it's a flame monster, an elemental, and it has fire and you burn a card. You know, like that makes, yeah. I have to give you a warning for the next card. And that is the prettiest girl so far. A queer, 4-mana 4/4. On your next turn, instead of drawing a card, cast a random spell. The artwork reminds me of Old Jaina. If it's from any class in the entire game, this might be a puzzle box. This might be Cataclysm, discard your hand. I don't know the lore of this character, and the name is not completely made up, but this seems like a good meme card. Also because it's on the start of your next turn, which is kind of like Nat Pagel, it's probably not that good. Like if you think about it, you play 4-mana 4/4, has no effect, right? The moment you play this card, nothing happens. And you also miss your draw. It's like playing Deck of Wonders to shuffle a Scroll of Wonder into your deck, but you don't draw a card. Oh, that's kind of bad. I would like the card more if it would be from a specific class. Like cast a random Shaman spell, random Mage spell, just so you know what you might get. But still, I like her armor. Confused Enchanter, 5-mana 3/3. Battlecry, the next spell you cast this turn will be casted by your opponent instead. I thought about this card by using it with Cataclysm. So for 9 mana and a 2-card combination, your opponent destroys all minions, but also loses their hand. Or you play Astral Communion. Or you play anything that destroys their own board. I honestly think this might break the game. It might be too good, depending on how you look at that. But there must be combinations that I didn't even consider yet that are more than busted. And that is exactly my question to you. Which spell would you use with this card to make it more than just a meme? Maybe this is something that overloads. Like Elemental Destruction. Your opponent overloads for 5 and the board is gone? That could be really annoying. Next we get a rare minion for Warlock. 4-mana 4/3, Imp Launcher. Battlecry, choose a minion, fire a 2/2 Imp, edit. I always like this one spell for Warrior called Blood of Ichor. You deal 1 damage to a minion. If it survives, you summon a 2/2. And with Imp Launcher, you would summon a 3-drop for 4 mana and either deal 2 damage to something, maybe destroy 1-drop, and if it only has like 1 attack, you keep the 2/2 Imp on your board, which would then be damaged and be a 2/1. But still, I think this would make more sense as a spell? Or it wouldn't? Honestly, I'm not sure. I think this is a great idea. This could honestly be a card in the next expansion. I could also imagine that this card would have its own animation, like an imp just flying into the battlefield, hitting the enemy. I would like that a lot. Good design. And for the last card, my personal favorite next to Imp Launcher. A Warlock card, who would have thought? It's a spell, 4 mana. Soul Split. Discover a demon that costs 8 or less, and summon it. Your hero takes damage equal to its health. First of all, look at that artwork. Isn't that insane? That looks so sick. And that in golden? Boy, I would craft that day one. You discover a demon. There are a bunch of bad demons, but let's say about a 7 or 8 mana demon. Maybe this one. Or that one that I think about when editing this, because I actually think about nothing right now. Nothing comes to mind, surprisingly. And you would take damage equal to its health. That would mean for just 4 mana, and like, let's say 6 damage, you could summon this minion. Wouldn't that be good? I think it would be good. Now, it wouldn't be game-breakingly good, or it wouldn't be overpowered good, but would be good. And maybe in future expansions, we get even better cards. I honestly think this is a good card. Thanks for making it. I also envision how this might look in golden. This is just some really good artwork. And with me staring next to the camera and then at you, I would say thanks so much for watching. This was episode 7 of custom cards that we looked at for no reason. And here's an announcement. Next week, we will have a new submission thread. Or I guess we have it today, but you can fill out cards and then put them in. There's a link to Discord down below to one specific channel. Just put in any cards, anything at all. Or should we make it more like a theme? Now I'm thinking, let's make it a theme. Because I do like Warlock cards a lot, and I could say anything right now, let's make it a Warlock-themed thread. Think about Warlock cards, demons, legendaries, anything like that, and submit them for next week's episode. Starting with next week, we are also going to have a different theme every single week, just so we can have updated cards. Because the cards in this video were like about a month old. To be fair, custom cards are kind of timeless, unless they are put into the game and then we have a date. But I want to make this a little bit more fresh. So if you're interested, link down below. Oh, and if you're interested in maybe Pokemon, which is completely random and has nothing to do with custom Hearthstone cards, I have a Pokemon channel. But Solem, you have so many channels. I know. I'm a man of many interests. Maybe you want to watch how I did the following thing right here. Or you probably don't. But if you want to, link should be in the end card. Thanks so much for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day and take care.